I just bought a ticket in every airplane seat on the world's best airline of Emirates because from a $100 seat to a $30,000 seat, the prices vary tremendously, which makes me wonder which seat is most worth the price. To find out, I have some rules. Rule number 1, I have to fly in every class Emirates offers. Rule number 2, I'm ranking them on 4 things: the comfort of the seat, the food, the free things, and the service experience. And rule number 3, I have to be back in New York for a weekly date with my girlfriend Lucille in just 2 days. And more on that later, but for now, let's head to the airport and board our first flight of economy.
Mr. Brisky, nice to have you today.
Thank you.
Holy crap, this plane is enormous.
In the largest passenger plane in the world of the A380, having over 525 passengers on board on 2 different levels, with having a staircase at the front and back of the aircraft, which in economy we're on floor 1, with our seat being towards the back being 84K. Which first impressions of this economy seat, I'm honestly impressed. Like, for a seat that costs as low as $100, it's super comfy with having, for example, an adjustable headrest, a decent amount of legroom, the biggest TV I've ever seen in an economy class, and this one's a bit specific to my experience, but the best seatmate you could ask for. What was your name?
My name is Brick Limits on behalf of my colleagues on the flight deck today.
NTSHIUWA, and how do you pronounce that? Insua. Okay. Did I get it? Yeah. So in terms of the comfort of the seat, I think this is the best economy seat I've ever sat in, so I gotta go like a solid 6 out of 10. But as we take off to Dubai, there's something you should know. This trip isn't just about finding the best Emirates seat. The reason I need to be back in New York in 2 days is because last week I asked my girlfriend Lucille what food she'd want most for our next date night, and she said Thai food. So after Dubai, I'm flying to Bangkok to track down her favorite dishes from a trip she took years ago, with nothing but a few old photos, which is a bit of a problem since I have no idea what any of them are. But speaking of food, lunch service is just about to begin. So in front of us here for our meal, we have the chicken kofta, looking pretty solid, and then on the side the Waldorf salad, a bread roll, Kind bar, salty snacks, and a chocolate salted caramel dessert. And I gotta say, looking at this food, this feels like it would normally be served in a premium economy cabin, with the food trays being a sort of like reusable plate, and then having real silverware as opposed to the normal plastic or paper one. And although the food presentation looks amazing, let's see how this food tastes. Wow. Okay. Emirates, you're amazing. I think that's my favorite economy meal I've ever had. Like, I just destroyed that entire meal in about like 2 minutes, so you could say this is gonna get a high rating. And that shocking vibe continues to the free things, with having some amenities that I could never have imagined in economy, with, for example, having a full-blown amenity kit, which I don't think I've ever seen an amenity kit in economy before. Having a gold eye mask, earplugs, socks, toothbrush, and toothpaste. And along with that, an Emirates branded blanket, pillow, and a pretty nice pair of headphones. Like, just look at those things. They have like some padding actually on there, which I gotta say, to have all this free stuff in economy, especially in a amenity kit, is truly mind-blowing, as sometimes in some first class seats you don't even get one. So I'm gonna have to go at least a 7 out of 10 for the free thing. And although the economy seat is scoring way better than I could have ever expected, service is gonna be a tough one, as we're bringing back the wheel of truth. I love doing that. If you're new here, this is how I grade the service of an airplane. There's all different tests on here, from a 1-star review to a call button test to even a bathroom test. So anyway, let's give this thing a spin and let's see what we're testing them on. Ladies and gentlemen, the wheel of truth is spoken, and we'll be testing them on the call button test, which on a passenger plane of 525 passengers is not going to be easy. So how this is going to work is the longer they take, the less points they get. So let's click the button and see how fast they come. Yes, could I have another cup of coffee? Sure. 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Not the best score, but also not the worst, especially for economy. So with my coffee, I'm gonna get into some research in what exactly these foods are here. Like, I know that this is a mango sticky rice, but the rest of them, I mean, it could just be about anything. And for the remainder of the flight, that's exactly what I did here. But anyway, let the search continue on our next flight, as now we're landing in Dubai. And I gotta say, economy impressed me tremendously and is definitely worth the price. Which makes me super curious about level 2 of premium economy, which costs about $1,000.
Hello. So you're in business class, seat number 14A.
Oh, I actually wanted to try the premium economy. Is that okay to keep my same seat that I had?
You want to downgrade?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know. I cannot believe that just happened. I've taken literally, I don't know, 500 flights in the last 5 years, and I've never once been upgraded to business from premium economy. That hurts so bad to turn that down, but gotta try level 2. Whoa, okay, well maybe it was worth the downgrade because this is a beautiful cabin. Wow, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on board the A380, but this time not at the back of the plane, but all the way at the front, which is super cool having the staircase located in the middle of the cabin. Honestly, just looking at that staircase there, it makes me so excited for business and first class. But anyway, as we take off from Dubai going to Bangkok, let me show you guys around this incredible premium economy cabin, with the seat itself looking entirely different and elevated, having a super sleek leather design with a movable headrest and even a cushioned leg rest, with this seat easily having 3, maybe 4 times the legroom of an economy class, making this airplane seat feel more like a mini couch with also having a crazy recline. Oh, so sorry. Which we're gonna put up for now because it seems like it's a bit too intense. Like, of course, there's a bunch of legroom without the recline, but with it, it sort of takes away the premium economy feel. So it's pretty crazy to say because the cabin is beautiful, the cabin is stunning, but the practicality of the seat is just not there for a high rating. However, in terms of the free things, this is truly when you see the premium aspect here. Like, before takeoff, I was offered a pre-departure drink of a super fun green juice and a hot towel that was scented. And along with that, we have an improved pillow, next level blanket, and an amenity kit. So for this section, super impressed. I can definitely see the elevation here for premium. So I gotta give this like an 8 out of 10. And although premium economy has been pretty solid so far, few seats can survive, say it with me, the wheel of truth. Anyway, let's give this thing a spin. Oh my gosh, and with them landing on possibly the hardest spot in the entire video of the 1-star review test. So Vina M says, "Do not fly Emirates. They tried to kill me with no compensation." Probably should not be sane trying to kill on an airplane. I was served a meal in premium economy, and as I bit into what I thought was my breakfast, I felt a sharp object in my mouth. It was a shard of broken glass. What? These reviews are, dare I say, scary to be testing right now. So anyway, the food and drink service is just about to begin, and let's test these 1-star reviews. Perfect, thank you so much. Great. It is true that there's a lot of glass on this plate. Like, the food itself are in real plates, and the drinks are also in real glasses. But just looking through each and every one of these foods here, I do not see any glass. I think, at least. Now, the food might not have glass in it, but in terms of the quality, I'm impressed. With the Waldorf salad looking beautiful. Then you have our main of the beef cheek over polenta, and then our beautiful white cake here. But anyway, although the presentation looks good, let's see how this food tastes. Whoa. Okay, this is a major level up in the food. It's freaking restaurant quality, and when paired with a fancy bottle of wine here, we gotta go like 9.5 out of 10. And after finishing up my non-glass filled lunch, I did some intense research for finding these foods, and thanks to ChatGPT, I know all the dishes' names, but now we're landing in Bangkok. And although I enjoyed the experience of premium, I'd say the upgrade is not worth it since the seat felt a bit less comfortable than economy. But we have about a 6-hour layover here in Bangkok, so I gotta hustle, get through customs, get through security, and find all these foods somehow. And I started by going to street food markets, then supermarkets, and I luckily managed to find each and every food from the photos. But welcome back to the airport for price level number 3 of business class, which can cost up to $10,000, where free things actually start even before you board the plane, with getting access to this absolutely stunning Emirates only lounge, having a buffet, and a bunch of different places to sit. And our flight's gonna be boarding in a few minutes, and when we wait, I want to tell you guys about something that's made my life not only easier, but significantly better. So about a year ago, I read about these hackers stealing miles and points on various different airline websites, which to be honest scared me tremendously because when I travel, I use dozens of different websites to book hotels and flights. And one, I sometimes forget my password to these websites, and two, pretty oftentimes I'm using some pretty sketchy Wi-Fi connections. But luckily a few months ago, I found literally the perfect solution of Proton Pass. You see, Proton Pass is basically my vault for all the random logins I need, from airline accounts to hotel rewards, and just about anything else you can think of. And I never have to remember a password again, it just simply autofills it for me. And on top of that, it even stores things like your credit card details, which are all encrypted, so if I lose my laptop or phone, for example, I can get everything back safely. So big thanks to Proton Pass for supporting this channel and this crazy journey. And if you want to check it out as well, be sure to click the link in the description box below. Anyway, I've just been notified from the lounge staff that my flight is boarding, so let's go check out price level number 3 of business class. Hello.
On board.
Thank you.
Okay, it's second ride for you, 6K.
Wow, we have officially entered a new level, literally. Like, welcome to the second floor of the A380 of business class, which I've flown Emirates before, but never its business class. And I gotta say, first impressions, I'm insanely impressed. With first and foremost, there being a lie flat bed function, being just ridiculously comfy, having plenty of space for your feet. And then on the other side here, we have this enormous TV that's also touchscreen, and then all these little things that take the seat to another level. Like, for example, over here, we have a little non-chilled mini bar, tons of different tiny and also, as you can see, large storage areas, which is currently being used for all the foods I'm bringing back for my date with Lucille. This sort of iPad thing that lets you control basically anything around this suite, and just overall this feeling of that this space is yours, like it's fully private. So honestly, this feels like a typical first class on a lot of airlines, so this has to be rated at least a 9 out of 10. However, let's take a look at the free things, with us getting a glass of champagne here for takeoff. Of course, another scented hot towel, which is such a small detail, but honestly makes things just so much better. An elevated slippers and eye mask kit, some super nice noise canceling headphones, and a significantly nicer amenity kit being a Bulgari bag, with having a bunch of different things inside, from a Bulgari cologne, Bulgari aftershave, deodorant, a razor, shaving cream, dental kit, Bulgari body lotion, Bulgari lip balm, tissues, earplugs, and a comb. Honestly, just looking at all the contents of this amenity bag, I think they thought about pretty much everything you would need on a 6-hour flight. And also, just to let you guys know, this is like a luxurious goodie bag here. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not even the coolest part of the free things. That is located in the back of the plane. So as we take off back to Dubai, which is our first layover going back to New York for my date with Lucille, let me take you guys in the back and show you this crazy cool free thing. Being a full-on bar/restaurant area. Is there a special cocktail that you guys have?
Yeah, so basically we can create any kind of
Great. I want you to surprise me. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Wow, that is a beautiful drink.
All right. My first drink in business class at Emirates. To go behind the bar? Okay. All right. You're the filmmaker. I'm just doing what you tell me to do. Okay.
Fly me out to Paris, I'm the baddest. I just want the money I can manage. Bust me down, I want a ring with the carrots. They know I'm the one, that's why they scare me. Fight! Fly me out to London on some thong shit. I don't want your man unless he know to put his thumb in. Apple bottom jeans looking dumb. They just told the DJ run it back, I ain't no one hit.
You're You're the best filmmaker, Rolando. Showing me the poses to do, and everyone else is amazing. Wow. Okay. That was like, I think, the funnest experience I've ever had on an airplane before. So in terms of the free things, I'm going a 10 out of 10. However, and this might seem contrary to what we just experienced, but one complaint that a lot of people actually have on Emirates is the service in business class, as just the sheer quantity of business class passengers is outrageous. Like, if you compare this to premium economy, there's almost double the amount of passengers. So yeah, it pains me to say it, but we do have to whip out the wheel of truth. This is so funny. It's currently like 4 in the morning, so anyway, let's give this thing a spin and see what we land on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed on the call button test, and I'm genuinely interested to see how business class performs against economy. And since this is business class, I'm going to increase the standards by double. So anyway, let's press this button and see how long they take. Yeah, could I have another tea?
Yeah, it was with lemon, right?
Yeah.
Like some honey now, or?
No, that's okay, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Okay, that was only 19 seconds. Like, what? Hey, nice to see you again. In front of us, we have our breakfast, looking super delicious, having an omelet, a side of a beautiful croissant, and an absolutely stuffed chocolate muffin, beautiful assorted fruit, and to top it off, a glass of champagne, with every single thing on this plate tasting absolutely delicious. Oh my gosh. You are spoiling me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, everybody comment Rolando is the best, because seriously, he has done an entire video shoot for me. Now he's given me a second entree for breakfast. Like, come on, this is the best flight ever. So all I have to say is business class has set an entirely new bar here. And although the price is outrageously more expensive, I'd say for a luxury traveler, it's worth it, as it felt more like a first class. And honestly, as we're landing in Dubai now, I'm not really sure first class is gonna live up to it. Like, this is a crazy act to follow. But I guess it's a major price increase, costing up to $30,000, as it's the world's best first class.
Hello, thank you.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Biscuit.
Yes. Thanks for the walk up the stairs. I feel special coming upstairs.
All I can say is it feels good to be back.
These are your large extra large slippers.
Great.
This is the men's size.
Okay,
This is the canvas bag for
Oh,
your laundry.
wow, great.
And that's
Fantastic.
the beautiful Emirates pajamas. Large, I believe, would be your
yeah,
size.
I think that's perfect.
It's
yeah.
infused with the chamomile oil to sleep better.
The pajamas are infused with chamomile. Come on now. So as we take off to our final destination of New York City, all I can say is there's a lot to see here. And even though I've flown Emirates before, my mind is still blown by this sea. With first over here having a door that fully shuts to create absolute privacy. Then we have a seat over here, or should I say throne, because this thing is absolutely enormous. It of course has a lie flat function, which then on your side here you have a full-blown motorized mini bar. And then in back of us here we have this absolutely enormous, yet again, touchscreen TV. And just sitting here in our airplane seat, this feels more like a hotel versus an airplane. You could probably even fit another person, maybe even two, inside this suite. I'm realizing that I'm sitting on the ground right now, and I should probably get up before I... Yeah, so this is all to say, in terms of the comfort, this is 100% probably the best airplane seat out of any airline in the world, making this 100% a 10 out of 10 for comfort. Now, in terms of the free things, as you saw earlier, we had a crazy expensive glass of champagne for our welcome drink, and also getting PJs with chamomile infused in the shirts and pants. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. However, ladies and gentlemen, that was just scratching the surface of the free things that we get here. With first having super nice slippers with, I believe that's like wool integrated on the inside. Then, similar to business class, we have a Bulgari bag, but this time it's a real Bulgari bag. This is a leather Bulgari toiletries bag, with on the inside having this luxurious cologne and a bunch of other Bulgari toiletries. And with all this stuff having the value of almost double what you get in the business class. And along with that, spread all around our suite are different free things. Like, for example, in here we have a vanity mirror, but underneath a toiletries kit of anything from facial toner to eye cream to a towelette to pillow mist. To then over here where we have a journal and also a pen. And last but not least, we have a little snack basket here having different what's supposed to be our movie snacks. So similar to the comfort of the seat, this is like the best it gets in first class for free things. You will not find another seat that gives you more than this. So I'm gonna go with a 9.5 here, with the only points off being that it still is super expensive for what you get. But the section I was definitely most excited to compare to the other classes is the food, as Emirates First Class has just launched a completely new menu. Like, just look at this thing. It's a literal magazine or book even, which is exciting because on this flight they offer a 7-course meal.
First set of condiments, bellinis and melbatosh, and last but not the least. Oh wow! Enjoy.
So starting off with the first course here, we have the beautiful caviar being served in this absolutely stunning plate that really exemplifies the fact that this portion of caviar is about $300. Holy crap. I think this is going to be one of the best meals of my life.
So what's the caviar?
It was so incredible.
Would you like another portion?
I'm able to get another portion.
You can have as much as you want.
Round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my creation of the most expensive sandwich in the world, being the Caviar Delight. Okay, it's official. I'm in heaven now.
This is the mozzarella and tomato salad.
Fantastic. Being super simple, yet so delicious.
This is the tomato pepperoni.
It's beautiful.
It
It's like an art piece. With this dish not only looking, but also tasting like it's in a fancy restaurant. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Whoa. This is next level, man.
This is the most luxurious red wine we carry.
Oh, wow. How much is this bottle?
4 grams.
Wow, that's wild. What? I didn't even know wine prices could go up that much. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of us we have a beautiful lamb chop over a bed of rice. Seriously, what's going on right now? Like, this is, even for Emirates First Class, this is next level.
This is the...
Oh my gosh, wow.
Enjoy.
Holy crap. When I thought it couldn't get any better, it did. Don't get me wrong, business class, I literally said like that they were spoiling me, which they were. But first class, it feels like there's no limit. Wow, look at that.
So,
wow. And for our dessert course, we have the beautiful sticky date pudding. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So with that said, we're locked into the tightest battle that I could have imagined between business class and first class, and everything coming down to the wheel of truth. Okay, let's spin this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wheel of Truth has spoken again, and it has landed on probably the most wild card spot of them all, of the bathroom test. You see, right now we're about 6 hours into our flight, and typically, especially in first class, the bathroom is continuously clean, but on other flights, even first class, it's just completely neglected. So anyway, let's go to the bathroom and let's see what this is all about. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bathroom, or how they refer to it as of being the spa. Being by far the largest bathroom in any first class, having all this space to just like lounge around if you'd like, which is freaking unbelievable. But that isn't even the coolest part about this room. No. For that, you actually have to book a slotted time, and ours is in about an hour. So let's jump into the future here, and let me show you inside our own shower room in the sky. This is amazing. So in terms of the cleanliness, this room is legit perfect. But before I crown the best valued seat, we're landing in New York, and I have a date to get to. Oh, happy date night.
Yeah, I'm excited. What is that?
Okay, so you do know that I traveled the world with Emirates, but you don't know exactly where I went. Well, I made a bit of a stop to get your favorite food.
Oh my god. Oh, this is amazing.
Pad Thai.
Oh, this looks so good.
Durian. Mango sticky rice.
I love mango sticky rice.
Tom yum soup.
Yum.
And green curry.
Oh, this is so nice. Thank you.
You got it. Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, okay, I want to eat.
Okay, update guys. The mission was a success. We pretty much finished everything here. Until next time, Bye.